Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, if you notice, I dyed my hair back to black again. Remember some of my previous videos, blonde ako doon. Wait, so this isn't about my hair. This is just a bit of an update about how I landed a job here in United Kingdom. So yeah, how do I start? So I started my journey. Honestly don't know how to say this, but yeah, 20 back in the Philippines, I graduated nursing 2010. So I got qualified as a registered nurse in the Philippines 2010. And then I, like most of the Filipino nurses, back then, nag-volunteer ako for a few months. I think it was about 8 or 9 months as a volunteer when I finally landed a placement sa public hospital in Taguig. I was there for quite a while, 3 years of my life I worked there, but I wasn't a permanent nurse. Term nun was contractual, so every 6 months we have to renew our contract, and we didn't really get any benefits. So I was 3 years in a public hospital. I decided to quit my job, and because I was feeling a bit of burnt out, so I decided to jump into a new career, which was in a corporate company. I was a recruitment consultant for less than a year. It is somehow still related with my profession as a nurse. I was assessing nurse applicants who want to have a job outside the country, and also some physiotherapists. So after I realized I really do miss being a nurse, so I went back to nursing to a private hospital in the Philippines, where I had to pay an amount for me to undergo a training. And then afterward, I moved on to a different private hospital where I work as an infection control nurse, where I spent almost about 2 years of my my nursing profession there. And then I decided, like, because at the beginning I don't want to go abroad. Like, bakit nga ba? Sabi ko, there was a question in my mind na bakit gusto lahat mag-abroad? Well, you can just stay here with your family and enjoy. But then, as I age, I realized na parang I have needs. I have financial needs. I have family and siblings to support. My parents were back then working in Middle East, but then they have to retire and we need to keep the money running, you know what I mean? So I decided to take my IELTS exam. It was quite a journey. It was really a struggle at the beginning because you have to spend money, you have to study, you have to pass an English exam. The first time I took an English exam, I was very how do I say it, very overconfident. I don't need the training kasi English naman yan. We've been studying English from grade school to high school to college. So parang, okay, let's just take the exam. And then when I took the exam and then the result came out, bang! My writing was, I think, around 5.5 or something like that. So it's like, oh God, I didn't realize that I really do need the training. I decided to enroll myself sa isang review center, IELTS review center, where at the beginning I only took the writing trainings, yung offer nila about writing, and then I learned yung technicalities of the writing category of IELTS, and then eventually I said no, I have to also focus with different subcategories of IELTS, such as the listening and speaking. So I did enroll full-time sa English review center na yon. And then, thankfully with their help, and of course, kailangan mo rin magsipag mag-aral kasi if you don't, you would still flunk kahit equipped ka na. kasi you still, like, for reading and writing, you have to have this constantly practicing writing, constantly speaking, reading informations all over, the internet. Kasi yung topic mo could be anything under the sun. So you still need constant practice before you take the exam, and that's a tip. And then eventually after that, nag-take na ako ng CBT. I'm very thankful because I have friends who, the review center I've met, and some friends from previous work who've already taken the CBT exam. And they were, very generous enough to help me with some review materials, which I also have to prepare for. So yun, I did pass my CBT eventually. But then the process, with all the requirements, with all the interviews, it wasn't easy at all. There was a point na parang ayoko na, parang baka hindi naman talaga para sa akin to, I gave up. But then hindi ka pwedeng mawala ng pag-asa. So you just have to go through with it, and then eventually you'll end up where you want to be. So I was at the beginning in this particular agency, which took me over a year or two bago para sila maging active to undergo the entire process. And then I quit. Sabi ko, no, I don't see any progress dun sa agency na yun. So when the time that I have completed my IELTS and my CBT, sabi ko maghahanap na ako ng agency that would help me fast track this process. So I end up with Andrews Manpower, and then they were just really, really nice to talk to. They will keep you updated. The process was smooth. So yeah, so just, I'm not promoting them, but based on my experience, it was really a good and smooth process with Andrews Manpower. Sa sobrang tagal ng hinintay ko, from the process, from taking the exams, I quit my job dun sa last role ko as an infection control too early, because I said I wanted to focus. But then you have to wait for a longer time before finally makuha mo yung final confirmation that pupunta ka na sa UK. So during those times, I went back working to another private hospital for about 2-3 months, and then I also did some short stints sa isang company as a company nurse. So just to keep myself busy while waiting, and also financially I could support myself. So yun na nga, the day na nandito na ako, first, it was really crazy because when I got here a year, January 2020. This is a few weeks before the pandemic. So you are all high hopes na matatapos mo lahat ng mga requirements, qualifying exams for NMC. It didn't happen so quickly kasi nga nagka-pandemic. So the universities were shut, everything was shut. So I was a band 4 when I came here. I stayed a band 4 for 7 or 8 months. And what is a band 4? Band 4 is you're like a nursing associate. You get to the thing is, the problem is you have to take a role as a nursing assistant for some time while learning the task and the job of a registered nurse. So you have a preceptor, you have a mentor with you. And dahil pandemic, staff are being told to stay at home, especially if they're vulnerable. Mayroong mga nag-call in sick because they got the COVID. Luckily for me, I do believe I had COVID, but I didn't have any symptoms. I never had the chance to really isolate myself and stop myself from working. Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge for me and for my cohort kasi dumating kami dito expecting na few weeks nung pagdating namin makakapag-take na kami ng OSCE, but it didn't happen. So again, yun na nga, naging band 4 kami. We were on the front line sa pandemic wards. So we have to help the staffing. We have to help the hospital. And the good thing about that is we learned the processes sa hospital agad without having to be prematurely having to individually have the task of a registered nurse. So, sa 7 months na yun, natuto kami. Pero during the 7 months na yun, may pressure pa rin because we are studying for OSCE. And we all know that it's not always 100% to pass the OSCE. You still have a chance of failing. Luckily for my cohort, our trust gave us a really, really brilliant support with the OSCE. So, meron kaming OSCE reviews and materials to study. And so when the day na dumating na for us to take the OSCE, sobrang kaba. Like, each one of us, paglabas namin ng testing center, we were like, oh my gosh, we're gonna fail. I think nakalimutan ko mag-assess ng ganito. I think nakalimutan kong sabihin yung, or i-check yung wristband, or i-check yung allergy. Lahat ng doubts mo na feeling mo bagsak ka na. So then a few days, we were all lucky to have the good news na pasado kami. Registered nurse ka na. Then after that, ito na, this is the real thing. Mag-handle ka na ng your own bay, your own patients. And then, well, of course, there's still support, but you have that full accountability of your patients on that shift. So, dahil kami, na-expose kami for a few months, na-observe namin lahat, but still, it's a different feeling na ikaw na yung nag-handle ng patient mo. It's a different feeling na wala kang nakasunod sa'yo na nagsusupervise sa'yo. You can still ask help if you need help. You need to know, you need to ask questions. You still need to, help. You still need support from your seniors. And you should do that, especially sa mga newly qualified here. And so currently, I'm in a short stay unit, like everybody else's life as a nurse in the not even in the Philippines but all over the world. I think meron talagang ganun naman yung buhay ng nurse. You can be very busy, you can have like a chill time sometimes, but you just have to get through with it. And then on your days off, make sure to relax, to enjoy your time, and communicate with your family. There are days that you really, really feel down, especially with the weather kapag winter. I'll probably tell more about my other experiences in my future videos, but for now, that's all I can share. I hope you guys are having a good day. I wish everybody's safety and sanity amid the pandemic, and mabuhay tayong lahat. And God bless.